The mayor is arrested. The flag of freedom is hauled down to be replaced by the crooked cross. The entire city is at once placed under martial law, and Nazi martial law at that.
It started around 6 a.m. with the air raid sirens going off. By 9:30, the defenses had fallen and Nazi troops marched into downtown Winnipeg.
If Germany, Italy, and Japan rule the world,
and the Pacific looms America. Magnificent in the maelstrom of war, the USSR, the heroic nation of the Orient, China, and the determined peoples of the British Commonwealth of Nations will together break that cursed emblem and ride the storm to victory.
The world at that point was Nazi Germany had occupied most of Europe. Japan had occupied much of Asia. The United States had only just recently declared war on both of those countries. Britain was really alone in defending Europe itself from the Nazis, with the help, of course, of the British Empire, including Canada. The Canadian government needed to raise money for the war effort by allow Canadians to invest money in a victory bond, which was essentially a loan that the Canadians would give to the government would pay it back after a certain number of years with interest, and it was a great way to finance the war effort. But you wanted to make sure that Canadians knew the importance of buying these victory bonds, and the Manitoba Organizing Committee decided to kind of do their own thing, and they came up with this idea of a simulated Nazi invasion of Winnipeg. So this was in the works for a number of months, and it required thousands of volunteers throughout Manitoba. They had the politicians, the media, community groups, churches all involved in planning, and they had actors, they had Hollywood uniforms, Nazi uniforms that had been provided. So there's a lot of preparation to make this event happen.
In the countries that have not suffered invasion, it's hard to realize what the coming of the Nazis would mean. In Winnipeg, they've just held an if day. If meaning invasion.
It started around 6 a.m. with the air raid sirens going off around Winnipeg. You know, most people would have known what that was about, but I'm sure there were a few that were a little bit puzzled. And then the radio, not much later after 6, started to provide warnings to people about turning out their lights, that there was an invasion happening. And then sounds of explosions, anti-aircraft fire, full blank ammunition, of course, but really creating this feeling that there was an invasion underway. And by 9:30, the defenses had fallen and Nazi troops marched into downtown Winnipeg and were very quick to start to arrest government officials. They were marching into government buildings, hauling people out, started to burn books, put the swastika up in various places, and essentially take over the city.
The flag of freedom is hauled down to be replaced by the crooked cross. All this and much more would happen here if.
And then at the end of the day, around 5:30, the group of women belonging to a local union march down Portage Avenue, and their job was to essentially start to collect donations from people for the Victory Ponds. The simulation had come to an end.